of a 42K marathon, how much of it really is made up of the excitement at the start and the glory at the finish line? Just a fraction, right? So what else then makes up the overwhelming majority of it? Hey, okay, so yep, you guessed it. It is the sweaty, painful, and tedious middle, the actual running of the race, right? This is the part at the 20K mark where the sweat's dripping into your eyes and your knees are hurting with every step, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, why did I sign up for this, right? And it's a bloody hot Perth summer's day, so no one's cheering for you on the sidelines. Everyone's hiding in the shade. And it is just you staring down an unending road ahead with the finish line nowhere in sight. So no one signs up to a marathon excited about this part of the race. This is the part that no one glorifies. And yet, this is where the race is won. A marathon is not won in the last 10 meters when you're crossing the finish line. That's the easy part. A marathon is won in the middle, in the actual running of the race, where it feels the most difficult and where most people would quit. So, to bring this out of the analogy back into reality here, at EverStrong, many of you are now at a point where you've been training for 6, 12, even 18 months with us. And the problem that I wanted to address today is that more and more of you are finally arriving at the difficult middle of the marathon that is your fitness journey. Okay? And here are some signs that you may have arrived. You see a plateau in your progress, right? Your assessment scores aren't improving as quickly as they did before. Maybe you've picked up some new injuries or niggles that's frustrating and stubborn and stopping you from progressing in the gym. And maybe the general feeling of coming to class is changing from that of excitement at the start of the process to now routine and repetition. From what the coaches have observed, more and more of you are going through this. Now, if you cannot relate to this yet, fantastic. Keep loving your training, right? Keep riding the high and keep enjoying that linear increase in your fitness. Again, many of you have just joined us recently and you're still riding that initial high of committing to something and seeing what we call the newbie gains. This is a beautiful place to be, so savor it while you're still in it. But to those of you who can relate to this feeling, to those of you who can relate to this feeling, I want to say to you, congratulations for arriving at the most difficult part of your marathon. And the reason I say congratulations is because the only people who don't get here are the ones who gave up or never started to begin with. All of you, or everyone here who are members, you've taken the first most important step, which is actually starting the journey. And a lot of you have stuck with it for long enough to even get to the difficult part. I'm sure many of you have shared classes with previous members that have joined us for their first 6-week program. They see a huge improvement in their fitness, and they still chose not to continue. So if you've even stuck with it past that point to even get to the difficult part, you should feel proud of yourselves for making it this far, first and foremost. So if this is all resonating with you, I want to offer you 2 mental tools that you can use to make taking that next step forward in the difficult middle of the marathon a little bit easier. Tool number 1 is to clarify your why, which is to remind yourself of reasons you started the journey in the first place. And I don't mean a generic, I want to get stronger, I want my knee or my back to feel better, or I don't want to deteriorate as I get older. And don't get me wrong, these are great reasons to exercise. And clearly they were enough to get you started on the process. But like we discussed earlier, the excitement at the start of the process feels very different to the difficult middle. So if you want your why to serve you when things get hard, you need to make it way more specific. And there are 3 ways that you can do this. I want to maintain, I want to avoid, and I want to achieve. So let me break it down for you. I want to maintain. This is where you remind yourself of things you can do today that you want to continue doing as you age. Now, the problem with maintenance as a reason to exercise is that it can all feel quite trivial, because the things that you would add into this category here are so simple and effortless that we take them for granted. These are the simple things like chasing your grandkids around, kneeling on the ground to do your gardening, taking a hike, or even just driving. We often forget that these seemingly simple things take some physical skill. And the worst part is, it is only when we lose the ability to do them that we see how valuable it is. So, to help you guys feel firsthand what it might be like to be limited in a simple task, we are going to do a physical role play now in the scenario of driving, which hopefully most of you can relate to here. Okay, now, I know we're kind of fairly close together here, but I'm going to talk you guys through a scenario, and I would love for you to physically act it out for me now. Can we do that? Okay, so be mindful of glasses, Sylvia. Okay? No drinking and driving, John. That's terrible. Oh my God. How dare you suggest that? All right, team. So here is the scenario. You are driving down Canning Highway at roughly this time of day, and there's a medium amount of traffic on the road, and you're cruising at about 50 k's an hour. So everyone ready? Hands on the steering wheel. Picture yourself, Canning Highway, 50 k's an hour, cruising along, and there's a medium amount of traffic on the road here. Okay? Now, as you can see in the picture, the black car in front of you is going a little bit slow, and you both happen to be in the right lane here, which is a little bit annoying, but it's okay. You decide to switch into the left lane and overtake here. Now, because we're all safe Perth drivers, John, you are going to indicate and check your blind spots before you switch into the left lane, right? So we're all going that way. So when you're ready, indicating, checking your blind spots to the left, switch into the left lane here, and then you overtake safely. Okay, good. Now, as you keep going here, you arrive at a set of red lights. And so you are braking the car, you're slowing it down, and you've come to a standstill here. Okay, now, while waiting for the lights to turn green, you feel a little bit thirsty. And there is a bottle of water in the back seat of your car. So when you're ready, I want you to turn around. I know you guys are close together, but try your best to make this as realistic as possible. Turn around, reach back for the bottle of water, and take a sip. Okay, good. Everyone hydrated? Good. We're gonna pause the scenario here and rewind. Okay? In this new scenario, I'm going to impose a couple of physical limitations on you. And these are physical limitations that a lot of you can relate to, and we see all the time as physios. Number 1, your neck is stiff and painful, and it has been for a while, and you cannot rotate your head for more than 10 degrees each way. So everyone try this with me, right? So neck is stiff and painful, you can't really turn it. Not driving yet. Okay, so you can't really turn your head very much further than 10 degrees each way. That's the first one. Now the second one, everyone lifts up kind of their left shoulder like that. Your arm cannot go behind the line of your body. If your arm tries to go behind the line of your body, that's excruciating pain. And the funny thing is some of you can actually relate to this right now. Okay, so again, you've got a stiff neck that can't really turn, and you've got a sore shoulder that can't really go too far out to the side. Okay, so we're gonna put you back into this scenario here. So hands on the steering wheel, back on Canning Highway, medium amount of traffic, cruising at 50 k's an hour. Car in front of you is slow, and you want to indicate, check your blind spots to the left, and switch to the left lane. Neck is stiff, shoulder is painful. Try it. Indicate, check your blind spots. Mark, question? Mark says he can't turn his neck, he can't switch into the left lane, so he's going to turn into 777 training. Okay, so a bit challenging, and assuming no one's crashed their car already, we're going to head into the next scenario. So arriving at a set of lights, everyone hands on the steering wheel, don't take your hands off the steering wheel. That's highly irresponsible. Okay, you're stopping the car is stopped, you've got a stiff neck, a shoulder that can't reach too far back, but you are thirsty, and there's a bottle of water in the back seat. Try to reach for the bottle, guys. When he's saying that, I'll just die of thirst here. I'll just ask Jeff to help me. Alright, so the point of that roleplay team is to help you feel how cumbersome it is to be limited by a couple of simple physical limitations in a task that we all take for granted. Now, I want you to try to imagine having to deal with the same level of inconvenience, but in all of your other daily tasks that you don't even think about. So the point is, in category 1, I want to maintain. Even just keeping what you have is a damn good reason to persist with exercise. Okay? Category number 1, I want to maintain. Category 2 is I want to avoid. For better or for worse, human beings are a lot more motivated to avoid pain rather than to chase a reward. So if I can put two, roughly equal punishment and reward of equal magnitude, the punishment will always feel more severe, even though they are of the same value. And we can use this to our advantage. So the next time you encounter a challenging moment on your exercise journey, instead of asking yourself, by confronting this hard moment now, what benefit do I get later? Because we know that human brain is not really motivated by a benefit, especially if it's far out into the future. Instead, a much better question to ask is, by confronting the hard moment now, what greater hardship could I avoid elsewhere? And I want to give you a few examples here. Plateauing in the gym is hard because it feels like the effort and consistency that you're giving is not paying off. But the next time you feel frustrated at a reassessment because you're not improving, I want you to ask yourself, would I rather push through the difficulty of a plateau or give up entirely and face the difficulty of decline? Many of you are in a phase of life now where biologically decline is the norm. So even if you are just maintaining, that is by no means a waste of effort. If you are just maintaining, you are already ahead of the curve. And this is not all doom and gloom, because we've seen so many examples of you guys stick with it through a plateau, not for weeks, but for months in the gym with us. And then you hit this amazing breakthrough moment, whether it's in your strength or your balance or your flexibility. So the point is here that pushing through a plateau is hard. Giving up and not doing anything and declining is also hard, but only one of these paths has the possibility of an outcome that you want, and you get to choose. Another example here. Showing up to class and doing similar exercises again and again and again can feel repetitive and routine. More dead hangs, anyone? But again, the question to ask yourself here is, would you rather your routine look like this or like this? So the next time you encounter a hard moment and you're questioning the path that you're on, is it even worth it to persevere? Ask yourself, would I rather have this difficulty that's right in front of me here or face the difficulty in the alternative? This can be a really powerful frame to help you push through those tough moments. So just to clean the palette a little, Category 3 is I want to achieve. And this is where you think about aspirations and goals. And I don't mean anything lofty or unrealistic, but you want to pick something that's kind of just outside of your comfort zone. That if you achieved, you would think, wow, I said I was going to do something difficult, and I actually did it. And to help inspire you guys, I want to share a few examples from within our EverStrong community here. That is Deborah and Digby, two of our longtime members who completed the Cape to Cape walk back in May. And this, yeah, Digby and Deborah are not here with us today, unfortunately, but some of you may have seen their photos they posted through Facebook. And this obviously involves navigating through very challenging terrain. Oh man, I had really HD pictures, but they're not showing up. That's okay. Very challenging terrain over a span of 8 long days. This is an example of a really big physical challenge, and we are so proud of Digby and Deborah for tackling it. But your aspirations and goals don't have to be a giant, big adventure like this. Instead, it can be something a bit more personal, like this. Meet Barry, one of our most inspiring clients, and those of you who've shared a class with Barry will know exactly why. You can barely see it in the photo here, but Barry wears a prosthetic leg, and he still shows up to class and crushes it. And that's not even what we're most proud of Barry for, because instead, for many, many years, our guy here has enjoyed up to a 6-pack of beer every single night, almost without fail. And he's got the belly to prove it. But recently, as a way of honoring his efforts in the gym with us, Barry has decided to give up drinking on weeknights. Okay? To go from drinking almost every single night without fail to no drinking at all on weeknights. That's a commitment. Yeah. Couple of other examples here. This is Vicky and Kathy, two of who are here with us today, two of our longtime members that have decided to use the momentum they've created in the gym to make better choices outside of it, to their diet, to their habits, to their health, and the results speak for themselves. So the point here is that progress in fitness isn't all about numbers in the gym or on the assessment sheet. It is also very much about who you become outside of the gym. And if you can set a compelling enough goal for yourself that's not exercise related, it adds a new layer of motivation and meaning to your training. So that's category number 3, I want to achieve. So tool number 1 is clarify your why, and you've got your 3 angles to lean on here. Again, you don't have to flesh out completely all 3, but find the one that resonates with you. And the thing about these reflection exercises is you reap what you sow. The more thought you can put into this, the more you can actually sit down with a clear mind and write down reasons that are personal and meaningful to you. The more effort you put into that, the more it will serve you when you actually need it. All right, moving on. Tool number 2 is actually the title of this presentation, which is the infinite game. And to explain this, I want to bring us back to the analogy of the marathon. In a marathon, there is a clear finish line, as you can see. And there are also clear win-loss rules. If you cross the finish line within X number of hours, you complete the race. And if you don't, you fail. This makes a marathon an example of a finite game. And in a finite game, there are set win-loss rules, there is a clear ending to the game, and the main point of the game is to complete it and win. And this is where the analogy kind of breaks down for us, because none of us are literally running a marathon here. Instead, we are here to play the game of health and longevity. And unlike a marathon, the game of health and longevity shouldn't be played with the intention to get to the finish line, because the finish line looks like this. So it would be silly to look at exercise and health and longevity through the lens of a finite game, where success is only measured in achievement of one outcome to the next outcome to the next outcome. Because if we're doing that, all we're doing is racing to the only guaranteed outcome of this game here. So instead, I encourage you to look at fitness, health, and longevity through the lens of the infinite game. The whole point of an infinite game is not to win the game, and certainly not to get to the finish line. Instead, the whole point of an infinite game is to keep playing the game. And all of the big, meaningful games that we play in life happen to be infinite games. A really good example of that is marriage, or any human relationship. The point of marriage is not to win at marriage. The point of marriage is to stay married. It's to keep playing the game of marriage. It's the same with health. You can't be so healthy that you win the game at health. The point of health is to stay healthy. It's to keep the game going. So in an infinite game, in the game that we're playing here of fitness, health, and longevity, if there is no score to keep and there is no glorious outcome for us to arrive at, then success in an infinite game lies in enjoying the journey, in the playing of the game, not the outcome. So the next time you find yourself in the middle of your marathon, when the sweat's dripping into your eyes and your knees are hurting and you're questioning the path that you're on, instead of thinking about the finish line, I encourage you to celebrate running the race. Celebrate the moral victory of showing up to class even when you didn't feel like it. Props to Vanessa here. That's been a big narrative in your journey so far. Well, I'm sticking through this. Celebrate the mediocre days, because they make the good days feel that much better. Everyone wants progress, no one wants pain, but you can't have a rainbow without a little rain. And lastly, when you encounter a particularly isolating, difficult moment, I want you to look around you. Look around you now, guys. And realize that you are not alone on this journey. And I want you to celebrate the amazing community of people who are here running the race with you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. This brings us to the official end of today's planned activities. I hope that all of you have taken some actionable insights away that you will actually act on. Again, like we've discussed, it's all well and good to feel excited by the novelty of new ideas, but if you wanted to actually benefit from it, we want to be applying it into action here. Okay? On that note, guys, my slides are letting me down here, but there should be Abby and Kat's profile pictures on the slides here. Abby and Kat are also fellow healthcare business owners just like us, so I've already seen long queues going up to them to ask for questions, so if you want to learn more about how they can help you, feel free to approach them in person or check out their websites here. There will be more food coming out shortly, so feel free to hang around, chat to your speakers, your coaches, and your fellow members, and enjoy the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, guys.